Okay, Goodbye Cruel World. It's 13th on the first album in this Pink Floyd's The Wall. Yeah, I guess you have latitude to interpret art, you know, when you look at a song. I guess there's two ways to look at this one. Who am I to say what he actually meant? But it leaves you with the impression a couple of things are on the table anyway. He's withdrawing big time. And he's withdrawing big time from a world that's very cruel. And he says, goodbye, cruel world. I'm leaving you today. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. He says, goodbye, all you people. There's nothing you can say to make me change my mind. Goodbye. I mean, immediately you got to think, at the very least, total isolation. At the very least, crawling into his own world, never to, you know, recluse, kind of emotional, physical, spiritual recluse. You know, you got to think that. Those are pretty strong words. They're to the point. They're not leaving a lot of room for interpretation. Goodbye, 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 3 times pretty much says it. Like, I'm checking out here. And then, not saying this is what he meant, but, you know, maybe it's suicide. It's certainly the contemplation of suicide, the contemplation of checking out for good. And I don't know if you've ever lost a friend or a loved one to suicide. I've had that displeasure myself. And there is that place that people get, and I've seen this in counseling, I've seen this in friendships, I've seen this as a pastor. There is a place that people get where they've even written me notes after their death to relieve me of the feeling of responsibility I have for not even help them. They've written me notes and left them for me, suicide notes that say, you know, there's nothing really you could have said. And you kind of feel useless, but at the same time you feel sort of relieved. But those words are strong. There's nothing you can say. Is Waters telling you, you want to be a friend, okay, try, but nothing's getting past this wall. Nothing's getting past the bricks. You know, it's kind of a soundproof wall at this point. So that's his reality. Death is dreaming of it, he's expecting it or whatever, but his mindset, if it's not suicide, his mindset is this: there's going to be some death. There's going to be some death. It's the death of a dream, the death of expectations, the death of a lifestyle, the death of a season or cycle of life, whatever. Something's got to come to an end. Something's got to be resolved in this pattern. He just wants to be left alone behind the walls. And, you know, people that hide behind walls become killers. What do I mean by that? People that isolate tend to murder things. What do they murder? Relationships, opportunity, their own well-being. They sabotage their finances, they sabotage their bodies, they sabotage their marriages, they sabotage their careers. People that hide from other people and won't interact in life are usually on the verge of some form of death. And the ability to handle those situations is quite difficult. Now, let's remember, this is a very successful rock star at this point, singing these songs about deep-seated pain. And when you get to having written something like Dark Side of the Moon and looked at the cycles of life that take place in that concept album, and then you see the follow-up with Pink Floyd, you can see them rehearsing these, oh my gosh, look at where I am in my life now, look at what's happening to me now, and it looks as though it's not going to be resolved. It looks as though the time has run out. It looks as though the money won't meet the need. It looks as though I'm entering into a season of life where perhaps I have wasted time and I've let too much go by. Anyway, he's disconnected, no intimacy, and a slow death.
Make me change